What is going on, everybody? Scott Hogan coming at you again. We got a nice, beautiful, rainy day. So we're going to go on with our series. We're going to talk a lot about the latest foreplay video that Trent was doing to break 90. A lot of you commented, sent me messages saying you like this, going over strategy, stuff like that. So we're going to do it again. All right, so if you aren't familiar with or haven't watched the previous video on this series, what we have is I really like this video series that's going on right now with Barstool, with the foreplay guys. Whether you like them or not, I think this is a great series because they're kind of showing you through the process of somebody that's trying to break that 90 barrier. They did it with Trent trying to break 100. Now they're doing 90. So I think it's an interesting series. I think everybody could benefit from watching it because I think when people are watching it, they see what's going on. But I also like to take a look at this because I want to show you how I look at this as somebody that really spends a lot of time working with players, trying to break down scoring barriers, whether it's 100, 90, 80, 70, any of those things. That's my teaching. My teaching is based around you have to shoot, lower scores. That's what makes it a success for me. Regardless if you hit the ball better, worse, whatever. If you're not shooting lower scores, to me, it's not successful because that's the whole point of the game. So, when we go through this, I'm going to show you again my spreadsheet. Now, I've actually changed it up here a little bit. I kind of show you a different version of my scorecard that I like to look at. So I know a lot of people out there like to look at, they like to look at stats and stuff like that. However, I think a lot of stats are flawed. That's how we start seeing things. Mark Brody has a great book, Every Shot Counts, which if you want to read that, that'll tell you a lot about statistics and how those things work. It's really not about, if you're tracking greens and reg, fairways and reg, stuff like that. That's not always the best way to determine if you are getting better or not. So that's the big thing that we want to look at is come up with something that's a little bit more telling about our game. But also, in my opinion, we want to make it easier and we also want to make it doable, right? We want to make it where like, hey, this is going to make you think I could actually do this. And then that builds confidence. It also lets you know, hey, I could work on these things and I can get better. So we'll go through it. We'll get started here. I have not watched this yet, so I decided I wanted to do this on the fly. So we'll try to fast forward through all the parts and all that stuff as they kind of have some of the stuff going on. But let's go ahead. Let's get it started. So they are playing at Rockville, which they've played at before, is what they've said. And so got a par 4 right off the bat, 309.
Most of these fairways aren't holding. You run through.
Looks pretty good. Frankie's playing as well. Frankie's been playing actually some pretty solid golf.
We're off.
He did in the last one, and he's definitely got some confidence as he goes. So so here we go. Trent here has hit the ball off the tee. He has actually hit this one into a fairway bunker, but again, that's fine. Again, if you had fairways and reg, you would say, oh, that is not a good shot, right? But he's got some sort of wedge out. He's got, so he's got a short shot in, and, they're talking about, a horn honked or anything like that, but he's done exactly what he needs to do. Again, he's been successful on the long game. So again, if you're not familiar with how we do this, okay, so I've got my spreadsheet here. What we're looking at is, what we're looking at is we have 100 yards on par 4s. He's got 2 shots to get it within 100 yards of the green, okay? So essentially what we're doing is we are extending the green. That's really what we're doing. We are extending the green, making it wider. So again, you would say, oh, he didn't hit the green here. But to me, for somebody that's trying to break 90, this is a successful long game hole. He's done good. Yeah, he hasn't hit the green, and you would go through and be like, oh, I got to hit more greens. Well, in our 90 game, yeah, he has hit the green. He's done what he needs to do to break 90 from a long game standpoint. So he has 3 shots once he gets inside of this 100-yard zone to get the ball in the hole. That does include putts. We do break it down. When we look at our total putts category, that is 2 putts or less. That will be a check. If he has a short putt 4 foot and in, whether he makes it or not, that would be a success if he makes it. And then also we are going to make a note of his first putt distance, because I think that's really important to look at here. Because if you're not getting it super close, it can be hard to 2 putt and stuff, and 3 putts and 4 putts can happen a lot. So let's keep it going. A little off the fairway. There's a, that's actually a great shot. You saw there was a little depression in front of the green, so he has to get past that. So I thought that was very good. And this is where he has been really struggling, is on these longer putts, getting the speed right. Perfect speed, obviously a great start. That's going to work out, so we get to throw some checks. You got that. I'm going to give him the short putt. What I'm also going to do here, I'm going to make a little special note, because he did so good. We're going to say that was probably around 15 feet or so. Okay. And he had a 4. All right, so he got it out there. You can hear, and if you watch the video, he cut through a little bit, but he had a good start there. And, one thing I liked is they're actually talking a little bit differently now about, hey, when he was planning his shot, hey, it's okay if you're here. It's okay if you're here. It's not, hey, just hit the fairway. And so he did that, and it actually worked out really good. Now, we talked about this last time on the this show. I don't know where he was aiming there, but that one, based on where the pin was and his, where the bunkers are, he's got to definitely aim it at the left side of the green, let his fade work in there. This one went over into the green side bunker, which is not his strong suit, but that's actually an impressive bunker shot, like really impressive. That's tour quality bunker shot right there. So that's amazing. Again, we're going to check off the first one, and I'm assuming he's going to 2-putt from here. I guess we can't assume anything yet. Okay. Still looks super uncomfortable when he's over the putter, but you know what? If it works, it works. All right, so he actually got down in 2 there. He had total putts. Yep, he only had 1, and he made his short one. And so the first putt distance there, I'll give him 3 feet. That was pretty impressive with the bunker shot, and he got a 4. All right, so he's got a driver here on a par 4. That last one was a 4, by the way. Got the ball out there. Looks really good. Again, played his little fade. Yeah, he had to, this hole looks like a draw hole, but, we're not worried about that when we're trying to shoot 90s. We're trying to play the course to what we need to do. So I thought he played that one perfectly. Obviously a great start to the round so far. And I like here too, Frankie's actually giving him some good thoughts, and he's basically doing what we've been saying to do, which is playing this like a par 5, right? Playing this like a par 5, realizing this is a long hole. You have some bunkers up here that you have to kind of think about. And so this is a perfect example of a hole where, if you can't get it up here past this bunker that's on the left, then you might want to think about, what I would have somebody do is lay it packed behind this first bunker. The green, again, that's probably within 100 yards. You can't really play. These bunkers look pretty steep, pretty tough. You can't play out of those. So you either have to make a decision at this point. You have to go beyond them and be pretty confident you can do that, or you have to lay it up and play a smart shot. But when people try and push the envelope, they try to fit it into this little fairway next to the bunkers. They end up in the bunkers on the right or the hay on the right. Where this shot needs to be aimed for Trent is at the tree pretty much. Maybe just a little bit right of the tree. Let his fade work it back to the green. Green side bunker, not his strong suit. Hopefully we can improve that. But, I would say if it's not, we got to improve it. But, that's what we would look at as we go through it. So he's taking some sort of iron, which gives him the opportunity just to swing it nice and freely. And he actually hits a really, really good shot there. It ends up being really good. It's on the right side. He was short of the one bunker. And, just gave himself a lot of room and a lot of room for error, which is it. All right, here we go. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is what's going to kill him. I would agree with that, Trent. That was pretty good. I mean, it came out a little thick out of the grass. I like the motion. The grass kind of chewed him up there a little bit. That happens. But, he's on the green. Again, I think probably if he's expecting a little more, if he had a little tiny bit of technique where he could hit that a little harder and not, if he hits it good, it's not going over the green. He probably gets this a little closer. But, we've got, 40 feet or so? We'll call it 40. That was a good putt there. That was a good putt. The first putt wasn't close enough. Comes down to the chip was pretty far away. So things just kind of snowball. So he did make his putt inside of 4 feet when he did have that. And that hurts. He's got his 7 on the board. If you look at that, obviously not what you're looking for, but we'll take a look. Par 4 here, great drive. Again, playing the fade. Driving has become his strength. I don't know if it's become it because it feels like they've talked about it before. But definitely he does not have a driver issue. That's for sure. So he's in a fairway bunker. He actually went through, but it's like, all right, hey, that's okay, right? Like, could he do better with that? He could, make a little better contact, but, wedge out of fairway bunker, that's a hard shot for anybody. So again, it's like, yeah, could you do better with that? Yeah, but we don't want to pick the shot that is hard for everybody and say, I got to get like world class at that. It's going to be so hard to do that. So again, he's got it within 100 yards. He's good. This isn't going to be why the hole is bad, if it's bad. Again, have not watched this at all, so. And he left his wedge on the last hole. We all know how this one feels. Always the worst. All right, and so now he's got to calm it down. He's got to get back to what he's doing. They're all talking about something else, and, now it's going to be, hey, let's get back into this. This is not a great, I guess... I get what he's saying there. So this one right here, he needs to be aiming at the logo of the clubhouse. And it's okay. It's okay. Again, I think if he was over there at the logo of the clubhouse with his little fade, he would actually be able to putt it. I still think he should putt this one, but, it looked puttable. Fairways look pretty, yeah, this is definitely a putter. You got to go over this little ridge, and, yeah, chipping that one would be very tough. That's actually pretty good. That's not bad. From there, again, I think, he missed a little bit on the short side, so it looks like that's going to be a little bit of trouble. First putt. We're giving him the first putt on the green. We're going to call that maybe like 15 feet. All right, good first putt. Makes his second one, so getting a lot of checks on that one. So one of the things is as well is like, instead of worrying about, hey, I'm playing bad or I'm doing this, you got to be thinking along the lines of like, all right, how am I going to fix it, right? what are the things that have gone wrong? So right now he's got to be thinking, all right, hey, I need to get into better positions around the green, or I need to hit better shots around the green. Either one. His putting's been good. He did have a 3-putt in there, but partially because he had some bad chips that left him a really long first putt. So again, I would just say that's where I would be looking. All right, here we go. Par 3. It's only like 120 yards, 123 yards. This one, he should be aiming pretty much just left of the flag and letting it come back to the right. He might even want to aim at the flag on this one. Now, he hit it into a bunker. They just did a montage about how he hates this bunker. And, you know, he's been thinking about it. They just talked about it. There is something for manifesting things and saying, oh, this bunker or whatever, and then you end up hitting it right where you want to. Or where you don't want to, I should say. But again, he's successful. He does get inside of the 100 yards. You can see he's kicking himself because he's in this bunker. So he's already not putting himself in a great frame of mind going into this. He needs to be thinking, hey, I'm all right. I got this. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm doing what the strategy requires. And now we got to work on getting down in 3. So how can he do that? This is not the easiest bunker shot. He hit it in a decently bad spot. But, you know, he can hit one and just kind of chunk it up there onto the green, like into the hill. Almost kind of like that, just a little harder. He could also have aimed left if he's thinking get it in 3. Let's get it there. I do think this one could be a little bit of a long game scenario. I'm going to actually put a little note on this one because I do think he could have aimed a little better. Now, that was a great bunker shot. And actually, I've noticed his bunker shots have been, so far his bunker shots have been really good. That's actually a good bunker shot. Looks like a tough one. So, having now seen the green, I would be aiming at the flag or even a little right of it, not being afraid to miss the green to the right. You know, your 100-yard circle around the green, obviously this being only 123 yards, we need to be moving this to the right, you know, and saying, let's get over there a little bit. Now we've got about a 30-footer. That's also looking a lot better than it has in the past. So we'll call that one a 30. I'm going to call it 30. Okay, so he did good on the putts. He gets a 5. Par 4, that ball actually sounded really good. The contact on that one sounded mashed, which is what they're saying. I like it, trying to talk to himself positively, right? This course looks pretty sweet, I'm not going to lie. This has a lot of almost like Chicago golf vibe to it. A little different, but it's got the taller grass, square greens, stuff like that. Really greens that are moving, a lot of movement. Tight course, you know, Chicago golf has a hole that looks like this. Really right up against the fence edge. You know, you're kind of tucked in the corner there. That sounded really good too. Same thing here. I would probably be aiming at the flag and be thinking about my 100-yard circle on the right side because there is OB left. It also looks like you are kind of screwed there a little bit with you know, your angle and being short side and stuff. Learning a little bit about this course, you got to be coming in from the proper angle with these pitches. You know, this isn't terrible. Definitely not terrible. He gets his check mark. It's definitely doable. I would love to see him play more with an open face on these shots. You know, but whatever. Obviously not the greatest, but he is actually putting it. I'd say that's probably the good play. Great putt. Putting it's becoming a strength. So here's a situation where he's done what he's done. Now I don't count that as a putt. You know, that's I'm not, because I don't want to penalize him in the scorecard saying you got to work on your putting when you're putting from 20 yards off the green. I still would count that as a chip, even though you're putting it from off the green. Now we've got a little short 4-footer. That's kind of harsh. Missed it, but he did look like he pushed it. I wish we could see the other angle. Okay. So that's a 6. Technically, he's good on putts. He's not good on that, and he's not good on that. All right, first par 5. So again, on par 5s, you got 3 shots to get it within the 100-yard zone. Love his driver. He's got so much confidence in the driver. He needs some of that in other parts of his game. All right, here we go, hybrid. He tends to like this hybrid, so got to be aiming down the left. That's a good starting spot. If that ball actually flew really straight. If it cuts more, it still would have been good. So I like his starting point there. You know, if he goes, I think something where if he gets better at 100 yards, he had just 138 yards into the par 5. That's a good chip right there. That's a good chip. That's a good chip. Give yourself a chance. Get your 5. We'll call this like, what, 6 feet? Like the speed on the putt. Underread a little, but it's not bad. It's not bad. He makes his shorty. Putts were good. He actually got down in 3. There was a great hole. There's a great hole. Now, one thing people say, well, you know, how would he make pars and things like that? Make par, the ways he would make par on that hole are, if he's better at 100 yards and in, he probably hits his 138-yard shot a little better. But also, he'll just make that 6-footer once in a while. That, you know, get to where you're about 50-50 on those, and now you're making some pars when you start chipping the ball closer. That's how you do it. All right, we got back-to-back par 5s. So par 5s are always good. This is why I love par 5s. A lot of people hate them. I love par 5s because they do give you some room for error, where if you're trying to be like a bogey golfer or just make some pars, you're usually able to do it. Okay. Doesn't look like there's trouble, so I don't hate the line. You don't want to hit this tree on the left, and he's absolutely perfect. So I actually like for him to just kind of hit it down the center, especially just hit one straight, and don't be afraid to let it fade over to the right because it doesn't look like too much trouble.
Yeah, you're all right.
It's the best range finder to use for high handicappers. There's no doubt. 144.
Got 144 again, left side of the green here. Started a little right. Moving more right. See what we got. I'm definitely inside of 100 yards.
Where'd it end up?
That was an interesting motion by Frankie on that pitch. Okay, this isn't bad. There's a chip. Got some height on it. That's what I like. When you play it with more height, you can swing harder, so you can get through grass. You know, I know that's always kind of been something. You're trying to find that balance. You don't want to play it like flop shots all the time, but when you play a little bit more loft, you can swing harder and fight through the grass. So that was a really good chip. Let's see. We'll call that, I don't know, 25 feet. Got a 6 on the hole. 204. And again, 6s. He's just checking everything off. 2 putts. Got it inside his scoring zone. And good. And then, you know, again, if he keeps on this, what'll happen is he will get some better than expected results. Long hole here, 200-yard par 3. So again, inside 100 yards, you've got one shot to do that. He looks like he did it. In the bunker, again, that might be a one where we throw it because, you know, it's trying to hit the green and get it all the way there on a shot that's probably not going to hit the green for any level of player. It's very difficult to hit the green from 215, 216 yards. So he put himself in kind of like a really bad spot. Even though it's inside the 100, it's like, man, you put yourself in a bad spot. And so, again, I thought he hit a good shot, and it ended up in a spot that's very difficult. So this is his first putt. Again, we're not penalizing from putting from a good distance off the green. There's a good one. That is a big 5. We'll call that a 8-footer. His putting has definitely improved. 49, that's what I have. You can see his average putt distance. Let me get this in view for you. He's at 16 feet or so, 16 feet on his first putt distance. That's actually not bad.
It just seems like I put up a 49 or a 50.
Those doubles keep
Big thing for him, as we look through it, we'll go through the first columns, right? Got it in. His long game has been fine. Been right on the money. Putting been pretty good. He had the 1-3 putt. Again, that kind of goes back to, you know, he had that really long putt 40-footer. Also, he missed a shorty, the one that did the 360 lip out. We got a par 3 here, 142. This one, aiming at the left edge of the green would be the play. Maybe just 5-10 feet left of the flag. So he was successful there. But, you know, it's very clear what he needs to go practice. Okay, and that hasn't changed. You know, he's having four out of 9. He got down in 3, and since his long game has been good and his putting has been good, it leaves one thing else. It's his chipping. Chipping, bunker shots, pretty much anything inside of 100. You know, so for him, it's nice. He has a nice plan. If we were going to go work on something, we would say, hey, you've got to go through and you just got to go out with your wedges and put the ball in a bunch of different spots, see what you can do. His bunker game, which was very bad the last time, and in previous videos that I've seen, actually has been really, really good. That's a stellar shot right there. That's very good. Kind of short-sighted, working away from you. That's as good as you're going to do.
Yeah.
There's a nice putt.
Par, man. Incredible.
So we'll call this
Trying to get some sun.
maybe 15.
Almost choked.
Huge 3. Come on now. Come on now. You just saw one go in.
Yeah, we'll call it 15. Good speed. Good speed. Could, you know, he doesn't have, you know, he's not hitting him with a ton of chance to go in, but, you know, again, he doesn't necessarily need to make 15, 20 footers to go in. So he gets his 4. That's what you got to do.
Just like damage control. Dude, that's good. You teed that up so low.
I know, it was way. It's actually fine. That's perfect.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did.
That's how dialed in you are with that thing. That is a bomb ski. Yeah. Take that. I like the no tree there. It's helping me.
Okay. Lamborghini Mercedes. Yo, chick, she's out there state.
Got our par 5 here. He hit a great tee shot.
Get a little long of a shot coming in, but you have a nice, really nice angle.
Great shot. He didn't pure that second one, but again, it's, you know, where I see a lot of people get really worked up. It's like, oh, I didn't hit it good. It's like, well, actually, you're fine. You are fine, especially for what you're trying to do. We're in good shape.
What do I want to hit here? Where do you think I should go here?
Middle of the green, right in the middle of the green, right there.
So 133.
Again, 133. I think this is a shot if he's better from 100 and in, he's going to be better at this shot in general. And a bunker, again, not bad. His bunkers have been okay. Like that, you know. So, again, he was kind of getting worked up out there in the fairway. I don't think he needed to. He's hitting bunker shots great. So, if I'm him, I would, you know, bunkers would start coming into the strategy. Like, I wouldn't be trying to avoid them at all costs. I would just be trying to make sure I'm not in the wrong bunkers. There's certain bunkers that, you know, you can have a good bunker shot.
God, that's huge. That's a bird.
And you can hit it and get it close, but when you get into certain ones, you just have no chance. So that would be all I would be thinking about. Bunker shot, putt, there it is. Again, good things are happening now that he is getting, we're going to call that, we'll call that 12 feet or so. That was a great one. Gets a par. That's what he needed. And what we're going to do is we're going to just highlight that, because when I highlight him green, what that means is he made a putt outside of the 4 feet. So we are checking that off because it's successful, right? He didn't miss a putt inside of 4 feet, but it's actually giving us a little look into, hey, he's actually starting to make some putts outside of, you know, the
You just didn't see it. It is now officially go time.
the short putts. And I just saw all the pars there, so I'm going to throw those in real quick while we watch him hit on this 4. Drive, hits a little right. That's kind of his first bad drive of the day.
It's fine. Just right in the.
Yeah.
First little step into the high step, but that's fine.
I do like Frankie's attitude here. He's doing a good job of helping him out. All right. Yeah, definitely good call. Frankie just said you got to favor right of the flag. Definitely. The bunker on the left looks bad. This is, again, where you can start having bunkers in his circle because he's hitting such good bunker shots. Now, here is a situation where he's at, I would be playing it out to the right, like way right here. Get it to like 80 yards and then go from there. Because that's what's going to happen when you take a longer club. So this is one of the first long game errors he's really made. That tall grass tends to like to pull the ball. It grabs onto the golf club, and then it sends it. He's actually okay. He's actually okay. I don't know how far he is, but or where he's at.
Or if the grass grabbed it and just took it.
That's what it did there, Trent.
I mean, this is the 13th tee box, right?
Actually, he did it. He's successful. He's successful. He's got some sort of wedge. He's got to be like 60, 70 yards. So this is a scenario where, you know, I'm going to guess he's going to make a big number. Just looking at it, he's, you know, again, he's got 2 chips. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Where a lot of people get worked up and they're like, man, look at this. Look at this. Man, his bunker game has gotten so much better. He needs to hit it in all the bunkers. Just keep getting into the bunker. He's so freed up from in there. What do we call this, 10 feet? Yeah, he's going to make a 7. And what it gets you, and this is a common one that I run into, people will say, hey, Scott, you know, I had to play from the other tee. It's like, well, that does happen. And, you know, yeah, is that going to lead to a bogey when you play golf? It does. But when you're a 90 shooter, you're looking at it like, man, I've actually got a shot. What a lot of people don't realize, it's like, man, I've got a shot. I'm like 60 yards away. This still needs to be a shot you put on the green. And it might not even have been that far. It might have been 50 yards.
I'm a garbage person. Yes, please. Can I do a red Gatorade? It's a garbage product. Okay. Coffee? No. Ketchup? No.
Oh, man.
I took just a big bite. I was trying to make myself happy after that 7 I just made, and I put ketchup all over myself. This shirt is never gonna recover. It's a long day for this shirt. And it's not even new. It's just unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
Can't say I haven't been there, Trent. Good drive there. Actually, that's pretty gutsy to take it over the tree and then cut it.
Oh, what a kick. No. Okay.
Looks all right, though.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Bunker, okay. I mean, yeah, so he's going to have to play from bunkers. Now, when you're, you know, it's a draw hole with a fade, you know, with a fader. Ball's going to go in the bunker a lot, you know. He can make good contact out of here, get it up there, and have a good shot. There's a good shot.
What's over there? Okay. Fairway bunkers are sometimes my friend. Because I get to do what I used to always do and just use my arms.
That's a fantastic shot out of there, getting it here. This is where I would be thinking, man, I would love to see him make a par. You know, if he, even though, again, we're not counting that as a putt, I would love to see him get that one a lot closer. Oh, Frankie just putted over a sprinkler head. We'll call this 5 feet or so. There it is. There it is. Great putt. That's a 4, I believe, right? No.
It's a 4.
Said it.
Yeah, I knew I was going to make that.
There it is. He's just putting so much better.
Yeah, it feels good after that 4. Needed that after the 7. And I've never played that hole well.
Dude.
Great driver.
Just like feet wide apart, back it up, and then just turn it.
Again, making a putt outside of, again, it was like 5 feet. It's pretty close. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, again, let him know, build some confidence, like, hey, you are putting well.
I knew you were playing well, but goodness gracious.
Great shot again. If he has this, I would be aiming it right at the flag here. Let it fade to the middle of the green.
All right.
Pretty much like that.
Run forever. What about?
Bouncing up there.
Just run forever.
All right, putting here. Looks like he's decently short, but again, I like the strategy. That fooled me from this camera view. It looks like it should go right. That's a great putt as far as speed. Again, I'll give him like 5 feet there. I'm kind of getting generous on him on these, but it's a little hard to tell. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. I mean, very, very good. I mean, this is textbook how you make pars. This is textbooks how you make pars. And you just got to do that. I mean, it's so risk-free. Your worst he's going to do is make bogeys. And then when you do the simple things well, you putt it up close. You putt it up close. You make short ones. You don't hit double chips and triple chips. You make pars. You know, and at worst make bogeys. It's just that's what it looks like. And we don't want to fall into that trap of feeling like we got to do what pros do, because that's just a whole nother world. You know, pros, if they're playing this course, they're shooting 62, 63. I mean, go watch some of the no laying up videos where they play with pros and stuff. I mean, these guys will never have played a course before, and they'll shoot 65 on it. And it's just nuts. Good ball there on this par 4, short par 4. So this is one where you kind of feel like, all right, hey, if we do our thing, we should have a decent look on this shorter hole. Because if he hits a drive, he's going to have, you know, around 100 yards. Frank's got a wood in on a 326-yard hole.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, Frankie's playing good, so that tells you what happens when you know, he's going to shoot like he's in the 70s somewhere right now. Goes to show you don't always have to hit it perfect to shoot in the 70s.
Oh, B. Hey.
That's a great shot. He aimed it left. The pin was over on the right. Threw it up there.
Yeah. Good stroke. It's just like short.
Yeah, I could have rolled back into that one.
It's a good looking swing. Yeah, that pin's pretty tough. Looking at it, maybe we don't need to go over there,
I landed up there.
because this is pretty tough.
Definitely putt this, right?
I'd putt it if I was him.
Like the margin for error, like with a wedge, I could easily just chunk it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I'm gonna give it a run. I'm putting it.
Good job, Trent. I like this play. You know, again, think about the strategy. This is his first shot inside of 100 yards. He's got to get it down in 3. He doesn't need to get it up and down. He needs to get down in 3. So he can blast it anywhere up there on the green. He could even hit it over by his cameraman, right? Now, it is a tough shot to judge, but that is, to me, that's fine. That's fine. That's what you want.
On the green?
Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect. And especially he's been putting good. Now, it helps when you got the superintendent doing some reading for you. He probably saw him. He's like, hey, you're not reading greens very good. But, you know, that was such a good play. He'd take out the double. Well, maybe not with his, you know, he could 3-putt this for sure. But you take out the massive, massive number. That's moving. Tough hole. Oh, no. And now knowing that you could putt it off the green, that's a pretty big mistake to hit that ball that hard. You just can't do that, right? You have to baby it down there. You have to leave it 4 feet short, 3 feet short, if anything. And knowing that that's a possibility now, you know, 3 putts and making a double bogey is okay on this situation. I also would say on his first shot, we would be aiming way more left now. I wouldn't even be messing with this whole slope over here. But it's a little bit of a unique situation. We don't run into this a whole lot. Unless you're playing Chicago golf. I ran into it a time or two. That's a great putt.
Oh my god. I don't even know if that's 4, 9,
8.
15.
So that one obviously hurts, especially after his long game got him in shape. So technically did his short putts, which is never a good thing, right? What I'm gonna do on this one, on that last one, I'm gonna actually put in a little red here, just because he kind of. I want to make a note on that one. Again, he was successful.
Throw up. You know?
Hit a good drive, short hole. Now this is where he's got a little wedge in. So now this is where I feel like this is the type of hole you make par on if you're Trent. He hits it on the green, beautiful. You know, these are the holes where you can make some putts or make some pars, because you are hitting those short shots that we should be practicing anyway. All these inside 100-yard shots that are going to help his game and help him from making triples and doubles and stuff like that. When you get that opportunity on a short hole like this, it's going to help you make it on a par, make a par. So hit a pretty good putt. Looked like it was swinging a lot, so it was tough.
What pace? Nice birdie.
Things are happening out here, fellas.
He just got the link round.
Yeah, I can't even
5 over for the day.
He just got the read. Think about that, right? Bogey golf gets him where he wants to at 90, and you need just a par or two. Think about, like, we're doing this strategy, right? And he hasn't. I don't think he's hit it. He's hit maybe one green in reg,
Doesn't love me either.
right?
Yeah, dude, that was.
He's hit one green in reg, and
Far out is 7-7.
he's got 6 pars, right? Like, that's nuts. So it shows you, like, you know, if he could chip and avoid these big numbers, I mean, he'd be shooting low 80s. That one hurts. But par 3 here, so, I mean, obviously not the great shot you want. But it's still a situation where, you know, when we see something like that happen, I'm thinking, all right, you've got a wedge. I mean, that ball had to have traveled 85 yards, right? He threw it on the green. He had a wedge. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt saying he didn't get that inside of 100, so that's going to be his first shot. We'll call that. It looked like maybe it was like 110, 120. But I still think, again, if he works on this stuff, that's the worst it's going to be as a bogey, even when you have a really bad disaster like that off the tee. Again, kind of like, I don't know, 35 feet. Didn't break on him. We'll call that second one. I think that was like 5 or... no, we're not going to give it to him. So he 3-putted and he missed kind of a shortish one. We'll call that 4 feet. So that's why he made a 5. So he didn't hit a good tee shot, and then he compounded his error by 3-putting. See, you know, a long game shot, people would look at it and say, oh, that long game shot was terrible, whatever. Well, you compound the error when you throw in short game errors to go with it. You know, a long game mistake typically leads to a bogey, but if you're making big numbers, unless you're hitting it way out of play or like topping it, stuff like that, your big numbers are not caused by the long game. Par 5, pretty long one. Going down the left, which I do like. It looks like he's aiming a little too far left for this hole. Looks like there was some room or some angle to play down the right. Again, never having seen this course, but I like it. They're thinking through it. 240 to the bunker, leaves you 143 in, so he's got 340 something left. So they're thinking about 2 shots ahead, what's going to happen. So I like it. If I'm thinking about it after 2 shots, I'm trying to end up somewhere there in the front. Giving him actually some really good advice there. Playing in 4 shots, he should be trying to hit it like 130, 140 yards.
Just got some stuff over there, right? Just
holy fuck. It's just exactly what you want.
It's okay. Got a wedge. He's inside of 100. Yeah, I mean, kind of tough. Again, you don't really want to play out of the junk, but
Unbelievable.
these are the shots I really want to see him get better at.
Dude, the fucking club fell when you put that in the thing.
I like the putt. His putting has gotten so much better. Great putt. Didn't get, we're going to say, first one that was like a foot, so that's great.
Talk about my score.
All right, so let's do the final breakdown here of his round. So obviously he shot 97, 49, 48. Actually felt like it was a lot better than that. I would be very optimistic if I was Trent on this round as we go through. So let's just break down some of the numbers on the front nine. Obviously hit every shot on the long game, was pretty good. And then the down and three, he only had 4 there. So there's 5 shots at least, and in many cases it was actually more. He had a 3 putt, kind of from the short game though. Got to keep that in mind because he had a 40-footer on the first putt. And then he did miss a shorty. Okay, so that kind of goes with his long game though, or so his short game. So it's really going to be like 5 shots there, 6, maybe 6 or 7 from his just chipping on that front 9. And then again, we go through the back. Same thing. He did better on the back, which is why he had a lot more pars. But he just had that one hole that really got him. And it happened twice. 15 it happened, and then he got him on 12 as well, where he just made some big numbers. And then, you know, he ran into a spot on 18. He hit it. You know, it's not the longest grass, but it's still tall grass. So that one's a little tricky. But then he hit a pitch where he left it short of the green as well. So I still think that's going to be something he looks at. You can see he was only successful inside that 100 yards 10 times, but his putting, he was successful 15 times. And then he missed 2 shortish putts as well. So good stuff. Good stuff to look at. I mean, if he just attacks that inside 100 a game again, this is just how I would look at it, kind of look at a round and come up with the plan. If I was coming up with his plan, I would say attack inside of 100. His bunkers and putting have been great. Now, I don't want his bunker game to slip, but I would be looking at anything that's kind of more normal. I'd be developing a little bit more of a way to handle some tougher spots, because that's just the nature of golf. Like, you're going to get into some spots that are not ideal, and you got to be able to handle them. You got to be able to handle all the different places you can be. So I would just be taking golf balls out to a practice area, putting them in different scenarios, and seeing what he can do. From there, I would keep doing it with the driver. Not too bad on the course management. And I would do a little bit with the putting just to keep it sharp. You don't want to lose it. That's the part that can go a little bit away. But he could honestly go practice with a couple wedges and his putter, and he would be in great shape. So that's what I would be doing. But really good stuff from him, getting better. Really should feel good about this one and where he's going. And now just getting rid of some of those big ones, and he's really got it. So we'll see what he does over the next couple of videos. So if you like it, please click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And as always, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.